Hey guys, welcome back. Drip and Farm for Property. I'm your host, Drip Coach, and let's jump right into it. So I covered a couple times throughout this channel's history, kind of crypto market news in general. And of course, this is a noteworthy event as of right now, especially what's going on with Bitcoin and the speculation coming into it based off of the BlackRock ETF and them modifying the actual submission. So nothing's been validated yet, but just again, off of hype alone, we've seen Bitcoin break 32,000 level. And I'm not the TA guy, but I listen to the people that are. And 32,000 was one of those key resistance levels. Now, I'm not saying we're off to the races. There could definitely be some wicks down. But the reason I want to cover this is actually because of this interview here on Altcoin Daily. So they interviewed Crypto, and he's been following Bitcoin. He put in a long position at 17.5, so he pretty much timed the bottom, and he's got like 9x leverage on that thing, so it's crazy. And he's showing this chart in here of Bitcoin using the monthly. Where is that? Yeah, this. So this is all of the, it's zoomed in a bit. This looks better. This is all of the, let's blow this up, the cycles of Bitcoin over the years, and he's showing this kind of curved trend line for the bottoms and tops. So I'm not going to go into the TA side, but there's a piece in here I want you to listen to because I've covered this aspect on my channel before regarding fiat, and it never clicked really about it until the way he phrased it. So I want to play that, then I'll go back to a couple of videos that I have on my channel, but it's basically about what the ultimate price of Bitcoin could be. And there's no way to give price predictions, but the way he phrases it makes so much sense. And I've talked about this before, and I don't want to spoil it. So let's get straight into that clip.
Stay conservative forever. What people have to understand is buying Bitcoin is not just accumulating more US dollar or like increasing your portfolio worth. No, it's not that. You are escaping the traditional system. What you have to understand is every fiat currency in the history of mankind has failed. Every single one. There is not even one exception of a fiat currency which prevailed over the matter of time. Every single one of them has failed. And if anything has to be preached in just technical analysis or any kind of analysis, you have to take history as some kind of indication, especially if there is a 0% failure rate.
And I covered this. This is he's getting into it, but this is what I've covered multiple times. Like I had this video way back here, March 5th, 2022, where I was talking about fiat and the banking cartel, and from the book, The Creature from Jekyll Island. I've showed you other videos from like Crypto Casey and Coin Bureau, where they talk about fiat currency. And yeah, this is definitely a statistic that is 100% factual. Every single fiat currency has failed. The average length of a world reserve currency is around 100 years. And depending on where you measure the US's introduction into being a world reserve currency, we are approaching that. I think that's around the 1930s. Some people say it was when we came off of the gold standard in the 70s, but we're not going to probably make it that far. So we're right at that mark. And the average for countries is about 27 years. So the US dollar as the number one or only global reserve currency is definitely historically coming to its end. And you can listen to like Ray Dalio and the Fourth Turning and all these other much smarter than people than me that talk about this. And like I said, I've covered different videos in here showing all the fake money within the US, within the fiat currency system. It's not just the US. So it's all over. So the question is, and then this was Charles Hoskinson talking about the $1 trillion, well, it wasn't a $1 trillion banknote. I just used that as an image, but he was just talking about the fiat Ponzi. And here it says the average span is 35. I said 27. So we'll just say less than 40. But let's go to the next clip. So that's important context because this ties into what the price of Bitcoin can be.
And if every fiat currency has failed, we know that every current fiat currencies are going to fail also. It's a fiat currency. It's propped up. It's inflated. We already see that happening in third world countries, in second world countries, Argentina, and so on. We saw the great British pound tumbling, the euro tumbling. And yes, the US dollar is going to be the last man standing, but it's not.
So let's look at that real quick. There's these are all the countries with the highest inflation in 2023. And there are countries here 284%, 210%. This is clearly not sustainable if your fiat currency is inflating. Now, of course, these are developing countries. They're not, your Western developed countries. But the point is, as he's stating, history has showed us that every fiat currency has failed. So these would fall under the less than 40-year average when you're talking about a country's fiat currency. And that inflation rate just gets out of hand very, very quickly. And we're going to get to this hyperinflation here real quick. But again, this ties into the price of Bitcoin. Hold on.
Not going to be standing forever. All of them are falling knives. They are falling at different speeds, but eventually all of the falling knives are going to hit the ground. It's just gravity. It's like a law of nature. And if you understand that, dear viewers, that you are buying Bitcoin to escape the traditional system, that you know that this model is going to be broken at one point of time as well, because if the US dollar collapses, then there is no top for Bitcoin. As fiat knows no bottom, Bitcoin will not know any top. And that is what you have to understand.
That's the piece that clicked for me. So I'm gonna play that back again because I never thought of it that way.
It's gonna be broken at one point of time as well, because if the US dollar collapses, then there is no top for Bitcoin. As fiat knows no bottom, Bitcoin will not know any top. And
that's crucial. So as fiat knows no bottom, then Bitcoin will know no top. And he's talking about being obviously evaluated in a dollar price range or whatever the world reserve currency will be. So when you can inflate something, for example, here, the Turkish lira, there's a 1 million Turkish lira note, 1 million pesos, 50 billion dinara from Croatia. So once it gets into hyperinflation, and not saying the US dollar will, but you're denominating Bitcoin in this hyperinflative currency. Therefore, there is no longer a top for that because the actual denomination doesn't have a bottom. So you can just keep adding zeros and making more notes. So I was like, oh my God, yeah, that's insane. I never thought of it that way about, yeah, Bitcoin getting to a $1 million, $5 million, $10 million, $50 million. It doesn't matter what it is because that dollar value is irrelevant, which is why pricing things in Bitcoins becomes much more important, Like right now at Bitcoin at 35K, you're like, okay, to buy an average car, it's 1 Bitcoin. That's all you need to know. And then when the price of that Bitcoin goes up astronomically, it's like, okay, it cost me 0.1 Bitcoin because you're no longer tying it to the value of an actual world reserve or a federal bank country fiat. So I just thought that was interesting to look at. And like, I think the highest is this one, the Yugoslavia in 1993. That's 500 billion, almost. So $500 billion dinar, a note was created in 1993. That's just what, 30 years ago. So hyperinflation is still something that other countries are that are dealing with. And I don't think we're gonna get to hyperinflation with the dollar, but that's outside my scope. But like the dollar staying as a global reserve currency, just based off of historic data, it's definitely coming to an end. And that means something else will take its place. Does that mean it's BRICS? Does that mean it's some other currency that comes out of this? Is there a world war that shakes things up so that a new world power emerges and they take over and that becomes I don't know. But again, Ray Dalio and all these other people, they talk about that. But it's important to understand that, yeah, Bitcoin is that hedge against all of this. And if you want to watch some other videos on here, you can watch this one, Drip versus USD, the one with Charles Hoskinson coming soon, $1 trillion banknote, and then this one, the death of fiat, as well. And of course, much smarter people than me to give you some insights on that. But it is very, very interesting to see that. This was also all of the world's money. Why is this ad blocker showing up? So I showed this one before, and they basically give you a visual of the how the currency shapes up. So like they started with Sam Bankman-Fried's net worth. Then you got sports teams, all these blocks just show you the comparison of how insane it gets. This is S&P 500, Microsoft, global money supply, the NYSE, global debt, governments, financial sectors, real estate, global wealth. Like, it just gets insane. And this is all just fake money. So this doesn't actually exist. It's just because it's not tied to any sound dollar value. There's only so many physical assets, so much sound money like gold, silver, things of that nature. So all the rest of this is just leverage on top of leverage on top of leverage. And yeah, it's clearly not sustainable. We've seen that with drip. You know, you can't just keep making tokens out of thin air and expect it to hold some value. All right, so that's all I got. If you want to watch the full insight, definitely check out Altcoin Daily. You probably do, because again, they're a much bigger channel than me. But I just like that explanation that he had there. All right, smash that HBO special, help brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below, and until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.
Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? SPRITZ Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real-world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.